Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Different format for today's video, just because this morning has been full of just mental mistakes up and down the board. So I'll get into that and a special announcement on going live next week right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk for loss. Okay, with that being said, had my normal videos all kind of prepared this morning and went to do an edit to get an early upload on the video and realized that I had no audio from anything that I did this morning. So kind of had to redoing the video from kind of from the beginning. So my apologies that the format is a little bit different here today. But I can also show you pretty much all of my screw ups from the morning time. And I believe that the first one started in gold. I do believe, yes, it was. While I was doing my video, it was 8:10. And it was around 8:10. This second candle at this point was still an inside bar. I had thought that the bar was already closed, took a trade here, was able to close this out for like a $10 loss, but I was just very upset that I honestly took the wrong inside bar. Actually, it wasn't even the wrong inside. It was the wrong inside bar, but it was just not even the candle hadn't even closed. I had just seen that it was red inside, and I looked at my time, and it was 8:10. It was actually this candle probably that I made the mistake on. So that was the first screw up. And again, $10 loss, not the biggest deal, but more of a mental mistake than anything. And that's what I have honestly been concentrating on, is it seems like the mental mistakes have been creeping up more and more this week. And they're very untraditional type of mistakes that I have been making. So I got to reassess that on my own self. But we do get an inside bar set up in gold at 8:20, close at 8:25. We get activated here into the short, went to about halfway to our take profit, reversed on me and knocked me out for a 30 tick loss in gold. So just so we all know, gold currently sits down for April 51 ticks. So gold has not had the best start. We can't really even call it the start because we're almost halfway through this month, which is kind of crazy. Actually, we're not halfway through yet, but we are pretty damn close. So that was gold. Let's take a look at oil. Oil session 1 was a winner. Of course, the session I was not trading. We get activated into the short right here. And this went for pretty much exactly right to our take profit. I know a few people in Discord did not get filled on this trade. Some people did get filled on this trade right on this tick, but that was a 16 tick winner in session 1. Session 2, let me just delete this one so we can explain it. God, I made such a dumb mistake here too. I could laugh, but I'm actually really frustrated today. It's actually kind of maybe better that my audio wasn't working, because you can really tell my level of frustration in my voice from the earlier video that I did. So the fact that I didn't have audio there was probably a good thing. So here's a scenario on session 2 oil. We get an inside bar set up at 9:05, close at 9:10 right here. Okay. And let's just put this so everybody can see which one I'm talking about right here. So you've got your order, obviously, to go long at the top of this inside bar, and you've got an order to go short at the bottom of this inside bar. Now, the next candle obviously does not activate you. The next candle does not activate you. And to be honest with you, when you've got two consecutive inside bars, I believe that the strategy even gets stronger. Three inside bars, the strategy is even getting stronger. Now, one thing that I can see, and this is not part of my rules and my conditions, but I have been looking at this for a few months. It doesn't happen a lot, but the one interesting thing is that when you do get consecutive inside bars, and the inside bars are sitting on the lower end of the primary inside bar, it seems that, you can make the assumption that price action, there is indecision, definitely indecision, because we cannot move out of this range. But at the same time, it is sitting on the lower end of this range. So I've been looking at this. It's kind of too hard to make it into a rule or condition. One, because it doesn't really show up very often. And number two, it's a hard thing to really quantify. It's a hard thing. I mean, you can visually see it. It's just a hard thing to really put in as a rule and condition. I will keep looking at this because this obviously interests me a lot right here. So then to get back to the trade, price action does, buyers step in. They activate us into the long. So your OC order here to go short cancels out. You then get in on this candle right here. Now your stop goes to the bottom of the original source bar, which is right here, which gives you 29 ticks. And we're looking for 29 ticks of take profit. Not even sure why I'm drawing it, because you can obviously clearly tell that session 2 was a 29 tick loser. So taking a look at the stats for oil in April, we currently sit session 1 is up 15 ticks, the session that I'm not trading, and session 2 is down 28 ticks. So, if you're trading both sessions, you're down 8 ticks for oil in April, but it's almost break even, but not really. It's still in the negative. And then gold is obviously weighing us down right now. But again, in gold, there has been a lot of max source trades in April. And those unfortunately have not gone our way, but we've actually had a few that have come very, very close to take profit and reversed up to us. So obviously these results can be, they can sway one way or the other. But overall, it's just a bad month of trading so far in April on the morning strategies, and even including the Rob reversal. Now, the Rob reversal this morning, I should say today, well, this morning still, it's 10:07. There has been, we finally got one setup, but does not a validated setup, but it's been pretty quiet here this morning. And the reason why this setup here does not validate is because it closes above the ADMA and it's telling us the setup is to go short. So no trade here on the Rob reversal. I did take a trade on my levels. I posted this one in Discord. It was honestly a pretty easy trade just because, one, I was in zero drawdown, which was awesome. But my feeling was we were not able to tap into this gap at the 52.24 level that I laid out. Obviously, I'm talking, I made the earlier video that I did was at 8 o'clock in the morning, so there wasn't any of this price action right now. So these are the levels that I had mapped out already in the morning. Posted these in Discord at about 7:30, 7:35 in the morning. So once I saw that we did not tap into this gap here, and we got a pretty strong down bar, sellers kind of stepping in, tapped into the gap, and then went back for some liquidity. And then once I saw this move tapping back into this gap, I told myself they want to, price action here wants to fill this gap in from the early morning, from that 7:30, 7:45 bar, which is off of news. And sure as shit, I got 10 points on that trade plus 500. It says 494, but it was 10 points. So that was a very nice trade on the eval, which that one sits at 52,177. So that's in a little over $2,000 of profit for the eval. Now on the YM, we had a level laid out. This is the exact chart how I posted it in Discord. Again, it's 7:30, 7:35 in the morning. We had a strong level at 38,564. And its price action has pretty much just been hovering right there. We do have this gap up here that has just been sitting here for a while. I've kind of thinking that we would tap into it, very similar to the ES chart, where I thought we would tap into here. Granted, I did not have a trading opportunity, or at least I didn't see any type of trading opportunity there. And I bring back the ES chart because of the fact that this gap was so large. What are you going to do? You can maybe make an argument to trade into the gap, but that's a tough, very tough trade in my opinion, just because you don't know what it's going to do once it taps into this gap here. It might reverse down, or it might try to continue to fill in this gap. So I really did not see any trading opportunity to the long side on the ES, but I did see a trading opportunity to fill in this gap here once we broke into it and we came right back into it. I would not trade this right here. I would be trading this right here, where we came into that. Now, granted, there is a opportunity to go for a bounce down here. One, because I got a strong level at 51.67, and then I've got two smaller levels right below it. So it does make stop loss and order entry much easier in my eyes, in my opinion. And so that's where that's at. I had a special announcement that next week, Wednesday, I believe it's the 17th. Yes, Wednesday the 17th, I am going to be going live on YouTube. The stream's going to start at 8 a.m. Central Time. It's going to be my first time going live to the entire YouTube. I have gone live with my Discord members just to kind of get some practice on there. But again, I think it'd be a good opportunity. One, I'm going to use that live session to kind of go over how I map the levels and kind of what I'm looking for in those trades. I know a lot of people have been asking me to kind of give a more detailed explanation of those. So I will be doing that during that session. And it is going to be a very, very good opportunity for the traders that have been following my channel that are trading the morning strategies in oil and in gold to get an opportunity to ask me questions that, some people, I constantly see in the comment section, people in Discord. But again, it's a great opportunity to hit me with what you got. So so I showed you the YM, the ES, and then I believe the NQ, which is pretty similar. Let's take at the NQ. So the NQ, I had this gap laid out. This was a little bit earlier in the morning. This was around this candle. And again, I could have made a case for this filling in this gap with another level above it at 18,397. But again, very difficult to trade this, in my opinion. I know there's very good traders out there, and I don't consider myself one of those yet. Off of strictly price action level type of trading, but I'm getting much better at it. And I see setups that I would take. I see setups that I don't take. And things kind of have to make sense. I got to see a clear entry with a clear defined stop loss that makes sense to me to get into a trade. So again, NQ just trying to fill this gap in, but from here, I have no idea where it's going to go. Obviously, we've got another gap right down here, which is kind of the gap that the ES had, but the NQ has not filled that one in. So this is the gap I'm talking about right here. So if we go here to here, we've got a gap in price action that we have not filled in yet. So can we go back and tap this in and fill it in? Yeah, absolutely. But again, I don't find that one as a trading opportunity necessarily. So down today on the eval, down today on the cash, took oil session 2 and in gold in cash. So both of those were losers. Gotta try to come back here in April and have a strong couple of days. And most importantly, the account balances, the strats, the statistics on the strategies, those are all extremely important. Don't get me wrong, okay? I'm not trying to invalidate the fact that April has been a losing month. It's going to happen. In fact, we were very close to this same scenario in February, actually probably even a little worse. And if you look at your stats at the end of February, everything starts to kind of change. So same thing can happen in April. We can have a shit month in April. I mean, that's obviously always out there as well. But what I need to get better on is definitely the mental side of trading, that I just had mistake after mistake after mistake. And it's been consecutive, which is, kind of the part that's bothering me the most. So I'm going to try to work on that. I'm going to try to clear up some of my distractions that I'm currently having in the morning. Obviously, work is busy. Getting ready to leave out of the house right now. I will leave the Rob reversal running. I'll let you guys know in the morning tomorrow if we do get another setup here. I look forward to trading with you guys tomorrow. Happy trading, everyone.
Order canceled.
Okay, so I still had video from both of my trades in gold and oil, so I just wanted to include those, as I do like to show all of my trades every single day. So again, apologize for the format. It's a little different than what it normally is. But here we've got, again, our trade in gold. We get activated into the short. We get that momentum push that I'm really looking for out of these inside bar strategies. Take profit does go probably about 50% of our TP. And then from here, price action does kind of wane out, and it kind of just ranges right at our entry line. But then I start to also see, here is where it's kind of just hanging out right at our entry point. And there's where the buyers really stepped in. And at this point, not feeling the best about that trade. I do see sellers trying to push price action down here. So again, we flirt with our entry point. I believe we might even go into the green one more time here. I got a little bit of ray of hope here, but and it's a pretty decent wick side on the downside. So I do know that it is a position there that sellers are trying to defend. Again, there is that push. We are in the green here once again, but just not very sustainable. And at this point, again, the buyers come in and are showing some strength. No opportunity to reduce risk at this point. Just hoping at this point that we can get a reversal, but we do not. We take a full loss in gold.
Stop filled. Order canceled.
Okay, and even though I'm manually putting in my bracket orders here, this is oil session 2. Even though the entry is correct on this, I already explained to you guys earlier in the video that I made a pretty dumb mistake on an entry from an earlier inside bar. So that mistake has already been obviously closed out. Took a loss on that one. So overall, like I mentioned earlier, just a really bad mental day of trading. But in this scenario, in oil session 2, we do get activated into the long. You guys obviously know what happens on this trade, but I did want to, since I had video on it and it didn't really matter that my audio was not working on the microphone, I could still obviously show all of my trades from today. So again, we're looking for a long. Price action has really kind of just been ranging here in oil. But our TP is an area that I definitely think that we could tap into. But sellers really step in pretty damn strong here. and price action is just not going in the direction that we're looking at. And I've already kind of explained this trade, so I'm not going to give you too much commentary here. It obviously is a loser, but as always on this channel, I like to just show every single trade, regardless if it's the winner or the loser. I like to show everything. That's what we do here. So unfortunately on this trade, I'll leave you guys on this trade. I'll see you guys here tomorrow. This one ends up being a loser in oil. Tough trade.
Order canceled.